Hi guys, welcome to this video. I'm a real first officer on this very aircraft, the Embraer E195, actually for Austrian Airlines, just like this livery. And I have bought myself the X-Crafts Embraer E195 actually for my type rating, and I also like to do some flight simming, so this is why I bought it. The price point of this is 75 euros, so you should get something for your money definitely. It's almost on the same level as the towless A320, which is kind of the same regional aircraft, kind of comparable, and so and that aircraft is actually really good. So let's see what that aircraft can actually do and if it's any good. First off, I have to say that X-Crafts has done a beautiful job with the rendering of the aircraft on the outside and inside the cabin as well. So that's pretty good. And I love that they actually tackle the Embraer as a whole, because I think it's a very interesting fleet of aircraft, not only the E-jets, but also the smaller ERJs, I think what they are called, the legacies. So I think it's really nice to have those aircraft in simulator. So heads off for them trying to implement them. And also they are a very small team, so you have to bear with them a bit. But keep in mind it's 75 euros, so it's actually not a very cheap aircraft, especially for the MSFS standards. This is X-Plane. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, this thing will be maximum 30 quid. So let's keep that in mind. So actually we're in Vienna right now. I'm doing a real flight, which is something we do in real life as well, flying from Vienna to Graz. Actually only like a 20 or 25 minute flight, very short flight. It's only like, I think sub 200 kilometers. Direct, but so we're gonna find the aircraft like this without those covers. I've never seen those covers in real life, so we're gonna just go ahead and remove them. But it's nice to have them here. This looks pretty cool actually. So this is how we would find the aircraft in real life, probably already cargo loading up. We would have stairs, obviously. No way to animate them right here, but we would enter the flight deck via this door. I was just gonna do a real flight with you guys, and we're going to see what's good and what's not so good about the aircraft. So as I already said, the renderings are pretty amazing. Even the doors, the signs. I mean, the business class is not something we have on our aircraft. We have all economy. But actually, I think it's pretty nice. This panel, wow, this does actually work. This is pretty good. Pretty cool. And there should be a panel as well. Oh, it's not here. But it's pretty cool, I think. This is the jump seat. It's very awkward. Yeah, this is the cabin crew seat. Should be two of those actually. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good for X-Plane. It looks pretty phenomenal. So let's go into the flight deck. Before we go into the flight deck, we will do the emergency equipment inspection. And actually, they have done a nice job of rendering those things as well. We have a life vest in the back. Something's missing. Fire extinguisher is missing. The crash axe, no, fire extinguisher is actually here. The crash axe is here. Gloves. We have some stuff in our aircraft that is obviously not here in this one. Like a LiPo bag that is used to put an iPad or anything that is burning a portable electronic device into the bag. That is something we don't have here, obviously. But generally speaking, I think it's pretty nice. So we're going to fly, obviously, from the right seat. I'm a first officer on this aircraft and not the actual captain. So let's go right here. Okay, so this is what we do. I would sit down with this QRH that is actually also animated. It's right here. It's not animated, but it's at least here. We are doing a normal operation with the QRH as well, where Airbus guys, I think they're doing QRH only with abnormals. But we have the checklist here. We would do the internal safety inspection checklist. This is actually right. The same stuff that we would do in real life. We are not going through that right now, but it's basically to make sure that all the knobs are in the right position, and landing lever is down, ELT switch is off. This is stowed, idle. I'm gonna go ahead and check if the speed brake lever is stowed and the flaps are in the right position. Very fair position, because it could actually be that the flaps are not in the flaps up position, but maybe because of ice or because of a technical issue, they have been in the flaps 3 position. So you want to have the flaps in the position that they actually physically are. But let's take a look outside. We are flap 0, clean aircraft. We're gonna select flaps 0 here as well. And also that this lever here, this is the emergency gear extension lever. We can actually not open up that, it doesn't really matter, but there's a little switch that is normal, that should be at a normal position, otherwise you would be unable to retract that thing with a normal gear retraction lever, or gear lever. So next stop is we've done all of that, then we actually power the aircraft up with the checklist, so any monkey can really do it. It's not really anything to it. I could actually do it by heart, obviously. I've flown on the aircraft for 1.5 years, but we still do it by checklist. This is just Embraer procedure. So battery 1 and 2 knobs on. This is actually something that should be off when you switch off the aircraft. So the colleagues before us did not switch off the aircraft properly. The ICAS messages that you hear right now, they should not be appearing right ahead. It should take a while for the aircraft to pop up those ICAS messages, but this is just some really small details. But I'm just going to tell you everything, because I think at this price point it should be, I mean, those details, maybe not, but we will get later to some really important things that are not really simulated in this aircraft. So we will check the battery voltage as 27.8 volts. This is unrealistic. This is with the DC, with the AC bus on, with the DC bus only, so the batteries, they should be only like 23, 24 volts. So, and we check that the battery voltage now is 22.5 volts DC minimum. Actually, it's 23, 24 volts. It's not like 27 volts that is displayed in here, but nevertheless, it's here. And actually, it should be way more ICAS messages than this, or should it? I don't know, actually. I think now that's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate, I think. The fuel on board, 1,600, is very low, so that colleagues that have flown in here, they did probably do some go-arounds. We have, this is very accurate as well. Okay, our flap position is not 0. Pitch trim is that as well. Yeah, that's cool. So next step is ICAS messages we have displayed. GPU button is, we have a GPU. I'm gonna put that on. And there we go. Let's turn up some voice. Yeah, and actually, I hope you can hear the sounds. Yeah, you can hear them. The sounds are pretty accurate as well, I think. The sounds are pretty good. Very good. Very good. The only thing is, I think the ICAS messages, those are a little bit off, but like the general noise of the avionics, noise of the fans and stuff is very accurate, so I really like that. Next step is GPU button push in, fire extinguisher panel. So we do that. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have to have 15 messages. Okay, let's cancel that. It was 15. That's accurate. That's good. That's very good. And now we can start the APU, but actually we're going to just check the cabin temperature. So cabin temperature is 23 degrees. I think we're still comfortable. Also, passengers are not boarded yet, so I'm going to save a little bit on fuel. APU control panel, DVR control panel. Then we push this one. You should not hear anything. Then it's good. Then test all the buttons, and this looks pretty accurate too. This is completely as it is in real life. Also, the sounds of the buttons are really accurate as well. That's good. I don't see the test button. We did that. Usually I have the sheet of paper right on my hand, and I don't have to do the back and forth all the time. Emergency lights, let's do that. Okay, that should be an ICAS. Okay, yeah, we got actually an ICAS message right here, but not a warning. We should have to have a warning if there is a yellow message popping out, but we will check if the emergency lights are actually on. Looks like it. Is there something changing? I don't know. Nevertheless, we put it to on. No smoking sign goes on immediately. Then we continue. Nav switch is already on. Hydraulic panel is Set EFB is on. Okay, there we are. Then after the checklist, we do our flow. So the flow goes like this. I check out. This is the first officer's flow. Goes like this. Check out if everything is fine. The fastest seatbelt switch, we will switch that on once we have the aircraft fueled up. That this switch is in the on position when the aircraft is cold and dark. It's actually the only switch that is in the on position, because you always want to have the nav switch switched on, nav light switched on. That's good. Continue our flow. Test that, and also test the trim if the trim run away. If the trim is keeping us from running away.
Trim.
Perfect. 4.9 units up.
Trim.
It's actually going too far. It should only be 2 units per trim input. Then it would have the message trim, and it will stop the trim from spinning. This is actually to prevent a trim run away. So with imbalance, we load the plane. This is actually from SimBrief. We got 118 passengers. We have some cargo, and we have minimum block fuel, guys. Minimum block fuel, nothing more, nothing less. So this is 2.8 tons. It's not a lot, but I have no way. I have not any way found to change the fuel figures in this tablet configuration with SimBrief, but nevertheless it will be fine. So we have fueled up. We can switch the seatbelt sign on, and then let's continue with our flow. I'd like to have this one. Actually, I do this in real life as well. Usually I would configure the weather radar, the TCAS, the map, all of that. Check this is all in. Data link doesn't work. Okay. This one and this one. Flow is completed. Let's do the flow for the captain real quick. I actually don't know it. The flow for the captain, I think I do, but I'm not really sure. Should be fine like this. Also this. Perfect. And he will check those trims as well, but we don't do that right now at this moment. This would just be okay. Now the aircraft is kind of set up, except for the FMC. So we are going to do that right now. Now the FMC is a little bit weird, the real one as well. So usually I go to data link, then I can uplink my flight plan, but it doesn't work in here. Nevertheless, we can do it like this as well. So we are going to Lima, Oscar, Whiskey, Golf. I know the route by my mind because I've flown it so many times. Flight ID is just our 925. I don't know actually the flight ID, but that would suffice. Departure, gonna go runway 16. Gonna select a Rupert to Bravo departure, apply, activate. This is just like the real thing. Gonna select runway 34 center. You wouldn't be able to select 34 right because that's actually a grass runway, but nevertheless. Okay, let's make it an ALS 34 via the PB2 Sierra, and star will be the Rupert to Mike. Apply, activate. We got 2 Ruperts right here. Yeah, this is not working. Let's do it like this. Okay, there we go. There is no alternate routing. Should be an alternate airport right there to get the alternate routing in, but that's something that this can do as well. The alternate fuel. This is actually our OFP. So alternate fuel should be somewhere. Yeah. Alternate is Linz 829er. 829er. The cruise altitude is 140. Trim we're gonna set 20 initially, and a 0 fuel weight we are gonna put in 41.7. Quite a heavy aircraft actually. 41.7. 417. This is how it goes. Okay. Cruise speeds. We're gonna go econ. Econ is fine, yeah. I think, yeah, econ is fine. we know there's so much of a time crunch here. Okay, that's fine. These pages are set up. I will go to nav. I will go to fix info. There's no fix info. The fix info is something you have in the Boeings as well. Something to plot the engine fail procedure with. Nothing of that. I want to. Yeah. Okay. I think that's everything there is to do. This would actually be probably my setup in real life as well. Nothing really more to it except the engine fail procedure. And now let's go with the V-speeds. So the V-speeds, we have a program for that on our tablet of obviously the, what is it called? ePerf. We're gonna do it in this one. Because I don't think I'm allowed to show you guys my program actually. So we're gonna do it in here. At runway 16, we're gonna go takeoff 2. Our aircraft actually has a mode of takeoff 3. If you wanna find out more about this sort of stuff, specific Embraer stuff, I'm gonna do a video about that maybe in the future. I'm gonna go to good, flaps 1, that's standard. Now let's check out the weather. So I have live weather turned on, so this is the actual weather right now in Vienna. So let's see, wind 30 at 5 knots. Okay, we got a tailwind. Third. 30 at 5, temperature was 0, QNH was 1012, compute, so QNH was 012, oh yeah, it's syncing anyways, perfect. Okay, we got our V-speeds. These V-speeds, yeah, I think V1 would be something like 135 or something, but V1, VR and V2 and VFS actually sounds pretty realistic to me. We're not going to send them to the FMS because this is something that you can't do in real life, so we're not doing that right here. So let's continue. We're gonna go ahead. Can I pull this? Yeah, that's good. That's big. That's perfect. So TRS. Is this like it? Yep, this is just fine. We would have, again, takeoff 1, takeoff 2, and takeoff 3. We only have takeoff 2. It doesn't matter. ECS on. Anti-ice, you want to turn it on if you have visible moisture. Below 10 degrees, you want to turn on engine anti-ice. Below 5 degrees, including 5 degrees, you want to turn on engine and wing anti-ice. Yeah. So we are at 0 degrees and there's no visible moisture, so we're going to turn that off. Flex going to turn on. Actually, you would select this one and then use this wheel to turn it up or down, but nevertheless we're going to select 0 degrees, flex on. We're going to flex with, where is it, flex, flaps 1, number 16. I do not know where the flex is, but we're going to select flex 30 anyway, so yeah, probably flex 30. I don't know where the flex is on this one. FMS takeoff. This is actually just like the real thing. Flaps 2 on standard, because we're gonna select flaps 1. Return. This is just like the real thing. Let's go ahead. 122, 141, 144, 195. This is something we each calculate on our own, and later we send it to the and the pilot flying will put in the data, but we each calculate it on our own. Departure limit, it's going to be 1000. 1000, this is the NADP2 departure. So when the aircraft accelerates and reduces the thrust, this is selected in here. Okay, that's pretty much it. We would select FMS speed, but does it work? Yeah, it actually works. Select the source to my side because I'm the pilot flying today. This does not work. Nevertheless, we will set up our flight instruments. This is actually something that does not work on the real aircraft. You cannot skip the hundreds. You always have to do like this. Yeah, like this. This is what the real aircraft does look like. This is actually quite annoying because you never need those. Very rarely need those hundreds. This is something that does work on the Embraer E2, but not on the Embraer E1, which I fly. So 5,000. Runway track is usually when it's cold and dark, it's gonna be 360, but now it's 159 for the takeoff runway. Let's check it out. Let's check out the route actually. So this is something that does work as well, which is quite nice. This is quite nice, quite nicely done actually, just like the real thing. We're gonna go to system status now. Of course, the captain's navigational display or display unit 2 would not change with mine. Usually he has this page on the ground, or no, actually this page on ground, and I would have the status page on ground. And then once we take off, he switches to map, and I switch to map, and he has the pilot monitoring, will have the terrain display on, and I have the weather display on. Terrain, install terrain radar plugin. Okay, this does not work. For 75, I would say it should work. Like in this whole list, it does work as well. Let's switch in the weather radar anyways. Okay, fine. Trim is, I don't know where usually you have to put in the CG and then you get the trim. It doesn't work here. Anyways, maybe like ground service, weight and balance. Oh yeah, there it is. 24.8. It's gonna be the trim. So we're gonna do performance in its next page. It's going to be 24.8, and then you go to CRS, takeoff data sets, FMS takeoff. It's confusing, guys. 24.8 is the trim. That's perfect. Takeoff 1.0 units up. The Airbus actually does it after the engine start. We can set the trim prior engine start, which is quite neat. So there we are. We have the performance put in, we have everything, I think, set up for the flight. So we have already loaded all the passengers. We're going to start the APU. This is actually done pretty realistically as well. First it's blank, then it's yellow, and then you should put the start switch. And the speed at which the APU is spinning up is actually quite real too. So this is not too far off. Okay, fine. We will be ready in a minute, so we'll close the doors. Usually in real life, we will close the doors when every passenger is seated on the right seat. Okay, there we go. And then we'll look at the electric page on the captain's side. And he has the APU has taken over. This is just like the real thing. We're gonna deselect the GPU, and the ground crew with this signal can be deselecting the GPU. There we go. So next thing is we will do the briefing. I don't want to bore you with the briefing, so we're gonna skip that. If you're interested in what kind of briefing we do in the airlines, so write it down in the comments below. I am happy to elaborate, but not today. It's just want to go on this flight right now. It's a very short flight, 20 minutes. Checklist before starts. Down to the line is something the captain will call. I will go ahead. Passenger sign panel set. Altimeter sets. Passenger panel. Passenger sign panel set. Pressurization panel is set. Flight instruments. Gauss check. Oxygen mask is checked to 100%, something we say to thrust levers idle. Down to the line, I will call startup. Vienna, Austrian 925, fully ready request, start and push. Actually, this is the frequency. Start and push approved, Austrian 925. we would have also gotten the squawk. So when starter push approved, there is one flow that the first officer does have to do. It's turn this pump on. This is all you have to do system-wise. Then go down here and turn this to altitude on. This is now at CRI. This is something you would only do once you enter the runway. But this is just a small thing. This is not really something that is disappointing for me. And also the red beacon switch, obviously. It's actually pretty hard to do those flows by memory if you're not sitting in the real thing. That's something I wouldn't have thought. So we're going to talk to ground crew. Ground crew tells me everything is clear to start, and we're going to select our pushback location right there.
Bodenanbrücke. Der Plan ist eingereicht. Bitte rufen Sie mich über das Menü. Bodenanbrücke. Der Schlepper bringt sich in Position.
Okay, the pushback truck is coming. So we are on a good schedule. There it is. Actually, pretty cool. That pushback truck is actually the same that we have in Vienna, with the Vienna airport branding on there. So that's actually pretty cool. Props to better pushback. So yeah, now that all passengers are seated, we can close doors. There we go. I will close doors. This is something that does not work. To lock it does not work. Let's say we've locked it. And also, captain would call cabin crew arm slides. Then the slides are armed.
Alle Türen und Luken sind verschlossen. Wir sind bereit, den Schlepper zu verbinden.
He's ready to connect. All doors and hatches are closed, and we have the parking brake applied. Okay, let's check it out if there's actually some quite comfortable in the cabin. Yeah, 23 degrees. That's fine. But I think that number actually does not change. I don't think so. But let's check out these pages if there are. This also is wrong. We do not have wing anti-ice on right now, so that's not correct. Those valves should be closed. Electrical looks fine to me. Fuel page looks fine to me. Used 9 kilograms. That's actually pretty accurate as well. Hydraulics.
Schlepper ist verbunden. Der Bypasspin ist gesetzt. Bitte lösen Sie die Parkbremse.
Park brake is released. When you see the green light.
Die Triebwerke sind frei zum Anlassen.
Actually, down here you would be seeing a green light. This indicates that the parking brake is off, and this indicates for the pushback driver that he can start pushback. This is not simulated, but this is a very minor detail. So, but I'm telling you just everything I see and find, and you can think about it yourself. So both engines are clear to start. We are not going to do a single engine taxi out. Maybe for the sake of it, we will do it. So we are going to only be starting one engine. So the engine number 1. The first officer would put the hydraulic elec pump 2 knob in the on position to have the hydraulics on where the engine is not running. We're going to be starting. Actually, that does work. So that's pretty cool. Let's try it again. It will take longer to appear on here, but it actually does work, so that's cool. Hydraulic pump 2 switches on, so let's start the engine. And this is the nice thing about the Embraer, you don't have to do any switching whatsoever, nothing. If you got APU bleed air, you can just go ahead, put this to start, and then it will fire away. So let's see what it does. Now the fuel should be coming now. And you hear the packs going actually off automatically.
Der Push-Vorgang ist abgeschlossen. Bitte setzen Sie die Parkbremse.
Park brake set. You can disconnect all ground equipment.
Schlepper wird getrennt. Einen kleinen Moment bitte.
There we go. ITD is going to rise at 50%. At 50% and 2, the EGT should be going down again because the APU is not supplying any more power to the starter, but this is not simulated. This is some very, very minor details. Fuel flow should be higher already because the engine is almost at idle. Idle fuel flow in the real aircraft is about 270 to 300. So if this is the idle fuel flow, this is way too little. It's like the half of it. Very basic things. We'll check out the fuel flow once we're airborne. Maybe it's better there. But the starter has disengaged. The engine is started normally. The captain would then call for flaps 1.
Der Schlepper wurde entfernt, der Bypasspin ist gezogen, Freizeichen gibt's von der linken Seite. Einen angenehmen Flug. Tschüss.
Flaps 1 flight control check. Then we do the flight control check. Only actually, of course, the captain does it because these are connected anyways. So let's go full up, full down, full right. We actually don't call that, so that's my fault. Just do the flight control check, okay? Then once we have the clear pin by the colleague, we'll call, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to do the before start checklist all the way. Let's say we did it, okay? So this guy has a clear signal shown to us. Let's call it after start checklist, ground equipment removed, sled flap 1 set, flight controls checked, after start checklist completed. Requesting taxi, taxi is approved, so deselect the parking brake, and let's see if the aircraft actually moves. So we're going to be taxiing from the captain's side. Okay, this is quite realistic actually. From the power that I selected, the aircraft is kind of quite realistically moving forward. Okay, that's something that is actually quite good simulated. I do not taxi the aircraft by myself because I do not have that tiller that the captain has that should actually move at this point. This right here. Because with the paddles you only get a few degrees of steering. I don't know the actual number, but it's very little. I can do high speed turn-offs on the runway, but I can't actually taxi. So you see the aircraft is quite heavy. I think it should be moving a little bit faster with that power setting. We're also not too heavy. 45 tons is our max landing weight. We got 43.7. So you know what? Let's start the second engine. APU bleed is on. Starting engine 2. You may ask yourself why, what is wrong now? We got ICAS caution, but we do not have an ICAS message. So how should I know what's wrong? It sounds like something is starting, but there's no indication. That's quite weird. This is a normal single engine taxi out procedure, so everything should work normal. What is wrong? Why is it not starting? Or is it? If you ask yourself why are we not using the bleeder from the already running engine to start, this is unfortunately not possible. Why is the second engine not starting? We have an ICAS caution. We don't have any ICAS warning. I do not get it. Let's try and switch off this. Maybe this is something that he doesn't like. We hear the second engine spooling up, but it is not starting. I don't know why. So this is how far we got with this video. I can't even get the second engine started. This is quite embarrassing. This is a 75 euro product and the second engine is not starting for any reason. Now it is. Now it is. Okay. Now it is. So we're gonna taxi to the holding point and get on our way. This is just frustrating. You pay 75 euros for that thing, and the most basic things do not work. Like the texturing is beautiful, the sounds are beautiful, but the most basic things do not work. It's just weird. Okay, and when that red line switched over, then the start limit, this was the start limit, this is now the normal limit, and this means that the engine is actually started. So got 2 good engine start, APU off. This is something that will definitely increase your workload, but it is worth it because you will save some fuel, they say. No, you will probably save some fuel, yeah. Also, what is quite realistic and what I like about this one is that once I shut down the APU, it does not shut down immediately. It will have a 2-minute cooling period, and after that it will shut down. So this is actually put in. The logic, see, this is what I mean. This works. Like, those little details, they work. What doesn't work is basic engine starts, and we will see the auto throttle in a minute, which is quite a mess. But this is simulated. The APU schedule for shutting down is simulated. This is quite amazing. I mean, but the most basic things are not. Okay, we've already entered the holding point. This is not something we should do. I'm distracted. Okay, so let's say we have our 2 minutes of engine warm-up time on the second engine already. The cabin is secured. We can put this switch on, and also let's do our before takeoff flow. This is done by the first officer. So strobe light is going on, nose light is going off because this is a light that is not made for the impacts of the runway. Left, this is going on. This is going to TARA.
No takeoff. Brake.
Brake. Okay, we have the parking brake disengaged, but I think what she means is
Takeoff. Okay.
the brakes pedals, but this is actually not affected by the takeoff config warning. So we are actually rolling at the moment. This doesn't matter. And then we're gonna do the before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff brake temperature checked, in the green range, ICAS checked, transponder TARA, takeoff configuration checked. Before takeoff check is completed. We're gonna do the before takeoff imminent chime, and the captain is gonna select the auto throttle. And also what we forgot actually to do is do this one. This is something you do after you put the performance into the aircraft. You will press the toga buttons, the same buttons that you would press on a go-around, and this will then arm the takeoff modes LNAV and VNAV with the epic load 27 that is displayed in this aircraft. Okay, this is actually done by the captain, so this is why I forgot it. But you see, this is actually quite weird to sit in this aircraft and do a real flight, because this is something I actually already did today to Stuttgart, Vienna, Stuttgart. And now we sit here in the simulator, which is quite fun. So we are gonna do a normal takeoff. Brakes are applied. We're gonna select 40% N1. And now, actually, once we are gonna put the thrust levers forward, the auto throttle will engage like this. This is pretty nicely simulated. And I would say check thrust checked. Let's see what the auto throttle actually does during takeoff, okay? So now we got, the thrust is fine. Got 80 knots checked. Gonna try to do the real callouts as well. V1.
Rotate. V2.
Positive rate. What is going on here? 60% N1. During an engine failure, this would get you killed. This is what I mean with this aircraft. Why is it happening? Why the fuck is it happening? This is unacceptable. Look, we are descending at this very moment. This is unacceptable. For an aircraft 75 euros, this is unacceptable. Okay, getting our map right here. This is just, I don't know what it does right here. Maybe someone can explain. I can fly the real thing, but I cannot fly this one. This is what I mean.
Throttle.
We're gonna select manual throttle. I'm gonna just put this. This is now auto throttle off. Otherwise, it would have probably crashed. And this is system behavior that is actually not in the real aircraft. Obviously, when there is the mode throttle hold displayed in the left corner of the FMA like it was just now. The throttle should not move in any way. The throttle will move once we reach 1,600 feet baro or 1,000 feet above aerodrome elevation. Like now, V-flight over change. This is completely realistic. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna select the autopilot. Autopilot. Look, I don't get it. Let's try the auto throttle again. It should select climb 1, thrust. Speed on thrusts. V-flight level change. Speed on elevator. This is what it should do. This is now what it would do in real life as well. Climb sequence, retract the flaps. We are already above our flap retraction speed, which is in this case FS. And the speed schedule is actually quite realistic as well. So 210, 250, this is just completely fine. But the flaps retraction speed from 1 to 0 is a little bit too fast in the real aircraft. The flap retraction speed would be a little bit slower, just minor little details. I would be completely fine with the aircraft, with the price of this aircraft being such a small company and developer. If the auto throttle would actually work. If the auto throttle would work on takeoff, I would be completely fine with the price and with all the little problems. But given that the auto throttle does not work at all during takeoff, it will get you actually killed. I don't think the price is acceptable. And also, what is the auto throttle doing now? The limit is 87.4% climb 1. And we are doing 77. Why are we doing 77%? This is not the system behavior. Let's see. Let's do climb 1. This does actually work. So let's see. Look, but it does not change the thrust setting, but it should actually, because we have. This is what it should do. And this climb rate is probably a little bit, yeah, it's probably realistic, yeah. Okay, guys, this is a mess. The auto throttle is a mess. Everything else is actually quite fine and quite fun to fly with, but the auto throttle is complete mess. Now this is how it's supposed to work. Even now, it's not doing the thing that I want it to. It should be at 87.4%. It is at 86%. But I can live with that. But with the takeoff, you've seen that, guys. It would just go down to like 50-60%, which is not enough to keep the damn thing flying. And if we have an engine failure, we would go down immediately. And throttle hold mode, the thrust lever would not move. It would stay put. This is a safety feature. Also there in Boeing aircraft. Whatever. Okay. So let's see if we're still recording. We are still recording. Okay, we got level 100. It says standard. Standard set cross-check passing level 102 now. Level 100, you're gonna put the lights off for a quick service. Our guys and girls in the back are doing everything they can, and they're doing a great job of keeping the passengers comfortable. They're probably making coffee, teas right now, and we only have a flight time of around like we will land at 1003, so in 20 minutes we will land, and we're probably gonna get a shortcut as well. So yeah, probably at this point we would only, or probably in real life already have gotten a shortcut. So let's see what a shortcut does look like. So fly direct route pad. This is also something that in the real aircraft would not work. Having the same waypoint twice, this would not work, obviously. So direct route pad, activate. The system behavior on the navigational display is not completely 100% accurate, but I'm fine with that. This is some details that I don't really care about, but what I care about is actually the basics, like the auto throttle, yeah. So let's see, we've actually forgot the after takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist is completed. There we go. So we're working alone on this flight. It's really weird actually. So we are about to approach flight level 140 alts. There we go. And now speed thrust. This is fine. This is fine. To speed up the process because we're already delayed, I'm gonna select manual speed just to try it out. I'll select speed 310. This is the same in Airbus. You would call it managed, or what is the other thing? I don't know. But managed is FMS, and we pull it towards us on the Airbus, and on this one we would select manual speed. So we will select. So we're gonna go let's check the weather in Graz actually. So the weather in Graz. Let's see. Wind light and variable. Temperature 4, QNH 1010. So we're gonna select the landing performance. Runway 34 center. Winds. Let's do lights and variable. The worst is 160 with 3. Temperature 4 degrees. And 1010. Gonna check out the landing weight of the aircraft. Heading back, you have to do that in real life as well. Constantly landing in it. So this is not like it is on a real thing. Performance stator. Where can I get the landing weight? Got 43 tons right now. We're gonna probably be burning another 500 kilograms of fuel. So let's make it 42.5. 42,500. I'm gonna select flaps 5 because flaps 5 is what we would do in real life as well in this scenario. Okay, that's good. Landing distance 1,655 meters. In real life it would be, I feel like it would be a little bit more than that, but it's fine, it's fine. This is completely fine. These are details I don't care at all. So VREF, let's put it in here. So gonna go to landing. Performance, landing. I'm gonna go 132. In our aircraft, we would have higher approach speeds with flaps 5 because we would do eye-gap speeds. This is so-called eye-gap speeds that would give us better go-around performance. And this aircraft, this has not the eye-gap speeds feature, so we are gonna do normal approach speeds. VAC 161. This is not right. VSC is the same as V approach in this case. And 193. This could be right, yeah. Approach speeds. This does work as well. I'm amazed. This is pretty cool. We're gonna fly fixed speed schedule. I'm gonna show it to you later what this is if it works. This is pretty cool. So we're gonna close that off. Gonna continue with the approach plate. We got the ILS 34 center. The course is 344. I don't know if it maybe will pop out automatically with this epic load, the epic 27, which is actually a software update from the old thing. It would actually pop out automatically. I don't know if it will do that with this load, but with the old thing you would have to set it up manually. With this thing, all you have to do is set the auto brake. Gonna go auto brake medium. We're gonna select the minimums, which is category 1300, I think. 1300. There we go. Minimums is RA. No, it's gonna be Baro. Cut 1 is Baro. 1300. Is it 30? Doesn't matter. Okay, it's 1300 the minimums. There we are, flying along. So things we can do. Fun fact, I don't know if this is something you could configure as an airline customer, but on this panel right here, this is the ADS panel, we would have obviously the Pro piece as well, but a water dump button. If I press this button, 100 liters of water will come flushing out of the aircraft but this is fresh water. It's not used water, so don't worry. It's just when we go to an airport where there is no maintenance on ground, we would press this button so that the water will all come out of the aircraft, so that it doesn't freeze up once it is on ground actually. So actually, how far away are we from the airport? Let's see. Like 30 miles. I think we should start our descent. So let's see. Maybe let's actually wait for the path to do it. Let's go to plan mode and let's see. Maybe we get a direct to a waypoint to speed things up. Direct Whiskey Golf 833. In real life, we would maybe do a visual approach because the weather is not too bad today, but not today. I want to test out the full ILS capability of this. Wait a second. This is okay. Wait, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Let's do it again. It doesn't work. Okay. Yeah. I think. And we're also going to do a speed constraint if that works. Whiskey Golf 833, we're going to select speed 180. Let's make it 200. 200 slash, let's see if this works. Actually works. I don't know if it works. Maybe. Let's see. Looks weird, but we'll see. This intercept is quite weird, I have to say. The real aircraft does a better job at this, even though it also looks not perfect, but it does a better job at it. Also, the auto tune function does not work, it seems. So, we're gonna do it ourselves. 110.93440 course. Oh god, this is my fault. 110.9 3440 course. I'm gonna go to radio page. This is tuned automatically, that's good. But you're gonna hard select it. On both sides. 110.9. What is that aircraft doing? This is weird. This is a weird direct. This is something I'm not impressed by. This is a weird direct. What is it doing? If you do that in a real aircraft, the controller will slap you in your face. Distance is 20. You know what? This does not work. I'm gonna select tagging. We're gonna do it on ourselves. This is not working. This is not working. Again, 75 euros, and the most basic things do not work. Direct in the FMS, autothrottle. We had problems with our engine start. Even though it's a beautiful aircraft, I would love to for it to be a good product, but it just is not well rounded. Okay, we're gonna select level. Gonna go to 5,000 feet. QNH 1010. Bird speed. Flight level change. We are high anyways. Select flight level change. And we are now simulating a vector. Because it seems like we do not get the FMS to work in the way that we want it to. So, what does it say? Invalid entry. Let's try again. Arrival, PP20. Invalid action. What is invalid, bro? Oh, clear selection, invalid entry, apply, invalid action, so I can't redo the FMC. The descent rate is quite realistic as well with that airspeed, with that weight. It's quite realistic as well, so happy with the descent rate. So let's see. I wanted to fly the Whiskey Golf 833, but it does not. It won't do it. So let's do a quick briefing. So let's see. The approach course is 344. That is set 110.9. At this distance, we want to have a speed of about 180 to 200, and this approach is straight ahead, probably as it is in the FMC. Distance 3 from the ILS, then to Gleichenberg hold.
High speed. High
Okay,
speed.
this is my fault. This is completely my fault.
High speed.
Because
speed.
actually,
High speed.
that's quite
High
embarrassing.
speed.
But the Embraer has, I
High
would never
speed.
fly 310 in the real thing to Graz. But the Embraer has actually at 8,000 feet, the max speed is 280. At 12,000, the max speed is 320, and it goes continuously down. I think you will see it. Yeah, right here it is listed up. I should have known better, but obviously I did know. Okay, it's 300 knots below 8,000 feet. This is what happened right now. Very high. Anyways, we're gonna select this. I would love to be able to pick up my course to the Visky-Gulf waypoint again. We're gonna try to arm. Oh no, it's not arming. It's selecting. So in a real thing, you could arm LNAV. I think. I've never been in this situation in a real aircraft. That's the thing. So we'll see. Maybe it picks up again. So we'll put all. So much explaining. What we do is we're gonna select the seatbelt sign on, landing lights on, approach checklist, passenger sign panel, set altimeter, set cross checked. Approach checklist completed. We're gonna be putting our speed down to 200. ASL. Alt. Perfect. And this is something that I like to do. If you're high and fast, I would just go ahead, shoot down to an altitude if we have free speed, and then let the aircraft come to a halt once we are at that altitude, because you will lose more feet per minute if you are flying at a higher speed, because the drag is just so much more. Okay, LNAV is alive, our CDI is alive. Maybe we can be back on the track in a few seconds. Let's see. Maybe speed up the process while we're at it. Let's select LNAV. Let's see what it does. Maybe it works. Let's see. Doesn't look too bad. It does look actually pretty good. Okay, there we go. In real life, we could look down to Grants. This is Grants, and we could shoot an visual approach easily with that weather. But again, I wanna put it through its paces. Let's see what an ILS or localized approach does to the aircraft. It's so weird working on a PC flying while flying the real thing. It forgets just so much because of those flows. It's really weird. We're approaching our waypoint, looking good. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice feature. I love that. Wow, that's pretty cool. We actually do not use those flashlights. They're strictly for emergency use only, but that is pretty cool simulated. I love that. Go to the next checklist. This is a checklist we do not have actually. Descent. We do have this checklist, yeah. Next one is this. It takes ages. We can save so much fuel doing a visual. But you know, doing a visual approach is something you have to breathe really, really good as well, because mistakes will happen on visual approaches. So this is something we do not every day. You have to navigate by sight, looking out the window, and you have to know the terrain and the airport as well. Just brief yourselves on it. And also the fuel flow is, I think, is kind of much. Got 3.8 tons now. Nah, it's okay. It's okay, I think. Fuel flow is actually quite good. Because we're left with 3.8 tons. And we now have, and we have to descend. Oh God, we have to descend. flight level change. The Vargil we would have to be. These are not the charts I use in real life, so this is why I'm a little bit confused. 3,500 at Vargil. Let's select. Let's do some speed braking. No, not 250. This is too much, bro. Should be 200. Should be 200. Let's see what it does and how it does it. Actually, also on the PFD on the speed scale. Let's select flaps 1. You would have a green dot similar to the Airbus, and the green dot would indicate to you what is the minimum clean speed that you are able to fly at that configuration with that weight and all of that. So localizer is alive. Doesn't look too bad. We're clear for the approach. Let's select approach. Approach when armed. Localizer is captured. We're now waiting for the glide slope. So we should intercept the glide slope at distance 7.5. Yeah. Let's see if that actually is right. As of now, like, the green dot is not here. Should be here and should be going down with selecting flaps. But let's see if... Yeah, that works. So FMS speed does work, which is amazing. This is something that the aircraft has gotten with the new update, or with the new computer update, the new load, Epic 27. Let's select flaps. So let's make ourselves comfortable. Nice approach. And the way the aircraft flies at this moment is quite the real way. It really does. Actually, I wanted to look at my fuel. Let's select landing gear down, flaps 3. Missed approach altitude is 5,000. We're going to select 5,000 feet. And runway heading 344, 5,000 feet. Actually, what is our diversion fuel today? Fuel. Where's the fuel? So the final reserve is 428. This is way too little. So it's 800 plus 800 is 1,600. So we are landing right with our diversion fuel. We cannot afford even one go around. Select flaps 5. Shouldn't have to be flaps 4 detent in between. Yeah, it is perfect. Select flaps, and actually, the way that the aircraft is decelerating, handling the N1 targets and all of that is perfect. We would be in go around mode already, but maybe that's my fault because I fiddled around with it. No, it's also takeoff 2. Now it should be a go around mode. Toger, yeah, should be a toger. Let's close it up. So we should be stable at 1,000 feet above ground. We are stable. Clear to land. Landing checklist, landing gear down, sled flap 5 sets. Before landing checklist completed. There we are. And we are landing right with our diversion fuel. So why not switch the autopilot off and see how that thing handles? Because why not? Okay, autopilot is here.
Autopilot.
But actually, obviously, disengage the autopilot with the help of... I'm embarrassing myself right there. The flight director is doing weird stuff. I'm going to disengage it. But we would, obviously, the autopilot would obviously be disengaged by the yoke. I swear, in real life, this is way easier. Set our path to like 2.5 degrees nose up. This is good. We have some winds from the for some headwind. That's good as well for landing. This will be a go around right there. We're not established anymore with the
approaching minimum
glide slope, wandering off into the. It's a little bit weird.
Minimums.
Continue. Does not fly quite like the real one, obviously, but the retard mode. This is amazing. In the FMA, the retard mode is armed.
50.
It's really good. Now take a look at the throttles.
Throttle.
20. 10.
This is way too weird. Oh my god. Very embarrassing. Spoilers. Reverse screen. Auto brake is working. Spoilers are up. I think this is quite good. Manual braking. Wow, I love this. This is, I mean, apart from the handling characteristics at short final, I don't know what I did there. It was really flimsy, 60 knots. It was not great. Maybe it was my problem, but today I did land the real thing quite fine, so I don't know what went wrong here. Nevertheless, after landing sequence would be called out by the captain. I would be setting the, let's do it all with ease. Quick parking brake. After landing sequence would be flaps up. Transponder to alts. Only this goes to 2.0 up, and then up here strobes off, text lights on, this off, APU bleed off as well. Doesn't work. Okay, whatever. Let's continue to our stand. A quite fun fact about the aircraft. Now the throttle call out at the end that the aircraft did by itself, this is something that the real thing does not do, obviously. The throttle would disengage, yes, but it would not do the call out. The call out would only be here if you disengage the throttles by yourself, or if there's some kind of electrical problem and the throttles would then disengage because of that. But it would definitely not disengage because of a normal operation during a landing or so. Oh, this is quite nice as well. 2 minutes have passed since we landed, and now the flight plan is deleted. This is quite real as well. This is in the real thing, just like here. And now we can shut down the engine. We know that the cooldown period of 2 minutes, only 2 minutes in our aircraft, has elapsed, and we can shut down each engine. Also in Graz, we know, or I know, that we get a electrical hookup, ground power quickly, so we can save on 1 APU start cycle, because it's not too cold anyways, or not too hot. The passengers will deboard quickly. We don't need any air conditioning, and we will be able to hook up the ground power and save on an APU start cycle, because it's all about those start cycles. So let's say this is our stand. In Graz we do not have any pushback trucks, so we will always taxi off by ourselves, which is actually quite nice. I love those smaller airports. The handling is much better usually than on the big airports like Frankfurt, and it's just so much easier. So the marshal would come and get us. Now this is where we will park. Park brake applied. We will wait for the ground power to connect. There it is. Put it in. Electric page. Ground power. Where it is? Where is it? There is it. There it is. So let's shut down engine number 1. And the ground power should be supplying then the AC bus 1. And if that is working, we know we can shut down engine number 2 as well. This would actually be spooling down much faster, and at a certain percent N1. I think around maybe 10 or so. What is going on? Ground power should be taking over that bus. How is that bus powered right now? Because there is no connection, and also this engine is off. Whatever. Switch off the second engine, and then there is an off flag on here, probably at around 12% or so, and I can put the red beacon light off, this off, and this to standby. And also put in here the 2000. Yeah, there it is. It's okay. It's fine. This is something I really don't care about too much. There it is. Cabin crew disarm slides would be a PA call from the captain. Cabin crew would then disarm the slides. Why is there a caution? Come on. A caution, but no ICAS message. This is something that is weird. Whatever. There we are. We'll fill the flight log out and all of that stuff, deboard all the passengers, and then once we are done with all our debriefings and all of that stuff. Usually we don't do the debriefings in the aircraft. Usually if there's nothing that went wrong on that day, we wouldn't do any debriefings, but what is going on? I'm gonna shut that bitch down, I tell you. Okay, so we did that. I think looks fine. Now gonna do the leaving the airplane procedure. This is a checklist as well. All passengers are deboarded. Gonna put it to off. Everything is off. Actually, the only thing that is left to do is disconnect GPU. Then big load of ICAS messages would appear with a big tree of ICAS messages would appear in this one. This is something that makes the aircraft really feel real. In this case, nothing. Usually, I will wait for all of the ICAS messages to appear, and once no more ICAS messages will appear, I can just go ahead, declick those, and switch off battery 1. Battery 2. There we are. This is actually leaving the airplane checklist procedure. This one right here, but we can do it by heart in this case. So right, the passengers are deboarded. The plane is here. We can switch off the ground power. Well, I would love for that plane to be awesome. The visuals are beautiful. I have a special connection to this aircraft, obviously, as I fly it in real life as well. It's a very nice aircraft to fly in real life, and I would love for it to be not perfect, but just flyable. With the autothrottle not working, with the weird engine start fault that we get, with the old AirCast messages that we have, but not appearing on the screen, but audible. And what was the next thing? Yeah, the big thing is the autothrottle. That is the biggest thing. Like, if that is fixed, I would say it's almost worth the 75 euros, but it just doesn't feel right at this point. It's just flying around. This is the first flight I did with that thing, because the first time I got into it, I was so frustrated with the autothrottle not working. So yeah, this is really the thing that kept me from flying that bird on the simulator. So that's it from my side. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.